Hey guys, I want to talk about Nicole Ari Parker and her husband, Boris Kodjoe, because they're trending all over social media due to some commentary she said about their relationship on her Instagram Live. And she went on to 9 Mag TV and did a quarantine online date night with Chris and Vanessa Spencer. Now, I really don't care about these two, but I just want to talk about the situation because it relates to Scorpio relationships and how we view our partners and how we treat them publicly, even though there may be some tension going on behind the scenes. Now, Boris is a Pisces, and I believe he's a Sun, Mercury, and Venus, if not more. And he's a typical laid back, soft spoken Pisces. I mean, I've never met a Pisces that was very dominant in any of their relationships ever. You guys know that I dated one for years, and I have family members that are doubles, even, and I've been close to quite a few, and they were all really the same, literally. There was not one that stood out more than the other. Nicole is a Libra, and Libra is masculine. And I'm going to talk a little bit about those traits that she portrayed online. So, the reason why people are roasting him is because of his demeanor. Um, During this commentary, they're calling him beta, they're saying he's a simp, a punk, all sorts of really, really nasty, negative words. And people are also questioning, relationships and actually going in on women, saying different things like she's too old and he can get another woman. So let me fill you in. Now, if you don't know who Boris Kodjoe is or Nicole Ari Parker, you can just Google them. I'm not going to list, all of the shows that they've been in. Nicole did that whole series Soul Food many years ago. And Boris was, he's a model, and a lot of women find him attractive. So now, on her Instagram Live, she stated that she kind of missed being single. She missed the texts. She missed being the girlfriend because of the attention that she got from her husband back then. Now, they have been together for, I think, almost 18 years, married for 15. So that's a long time. And things change, relationships change. You guys know that. And so I really didn't mind, her saying something like that. I do, however, believe it should have just been behind the scenes, maybe between her girlfriends at home, not for the world to hear. But what really sparked a conversation was what she said on 9 Mag TV. Now, you're able to watch it and see the body language and see how Boris reacts. I noticed a few things right away. The body posture, she's sitting in front of him, sitting in the back like a child, and she does all the talking, or she tries to. She just dominates the conversation. At one point, I think she even tells him um, to sit down or something, or be quiet. I'm not sure which one it was, but he was just eating his noodles and she's, telling him to be quiet, or, like he's a child. Um, Now, the couple that they had this online date night with is Chris and Vanessa Spencer. I'm not really sure who they are. I think he's an actor, and I believe she may be a casting director. But he is a Capricorn and she is an unknown. And I call her unknown because she's an October 23rd. And I just want to remind you guys that not every October 23rd is a Scorpio. Actually, there were many of you who asked me to do your charts and sadly found out that you were full-blown Libras. So guys, don't think that every October 23rd is a Scorpio. So she's questionable. But for the purpose of this podcast, I'm going to say she's a Scorpio. We'll just go along with that. So they're sitting side by side. They look totally equal. When they speak to each other, it's very respectful. They never really reveal anything juicy about their relationship. They kind of keep it very professional, even though it's a date night. And you know, the conversation is very equal. He speaks a little, she speaks a little. But when it comes to Nicole and Boris, she just dominates. So Vanessa posed a question and she said, you know, how is it when you travel a lot, you know, pertaining to their relationship? How does it affect you guys? And they jokingly said, do you do that on purpose? Now, you guys know that I believe behind every joke is something serious. So they've known each other for almost 20 years. So maybe they pose that because they know some truth that we don't know. But Vanessa said, you know, how is it when you guys don't see each other much, you know, when you're traveling for work? So Nicole stated that that was never a problem, ever. She loved traveling. Why? Because they always missed each other. She says it was exciting. She'd come home and they really had, you know, that spark would be there. But what really got everybody talking was when she said the issue that they began having is when the kids got to a certain age and their relationship became like brother and sister. Everything was kind of, you know, pay the bills, you know, sign the permission slip for their kids to go on, you know, class trips and things of that nature. And Boris just looked at her. You know, he really just looked at her and he didn't step in. He didn't say anything. And she would have just went off running her mouth. And she, you know, there was something about that that was just very revealing. It was very revealing. So not only did she go on an Instagram live and say, you know, she wished she was his girlfriend again, but then she does this now. I don't know which one came first. 9mag TV interview was on April 9th. So either way, doesn't matter. Either way, it's like a continuation of her stating that, you know, she's very bored in the relationship. And they asked him how he felt about that. And she jumped down, you know, jumped down his throat. Yeah, how do you feel? How do you feel? You know, he looked like he was almost afraid to even respond, but he said, I agree. I agree in the sense that when men are married that long, they know what they need to say to get what they want. And so do women. And so, you know, he just made a statement that, you know, these things happen. And I'm going to let you listen to this whole entire commentary at the end, and I want you to chime in. But I was thinking about this. I was thinking about this in terms of Scorpio men or Scorpio women. What if that was a Scorpio woman? And how would that have affected that whole entire conversation? You know? Or if that was a Scorpio man, you know, would that have even happened? Now, I watched a few interviews. 9mag TV has a ton of interviews where they do, the date night thing with couples, and I watched another one with a Scorpio Cancer couple, and the Cancer was very talkative, very talkative. I mean, I don't know how anyone got a word in, but that Scorpio man, even with his quiet demeanor, she just could not. She could not dominate him. She could not do it. He subtly got all his points in to the, to where, and you guys can look, you can look on their channel and you'll find it. You'll find the interviews, but um wow. I, it's not just them. I watch so many different combinations, Scorpio couples, and even if the wife is very, very talkative, that Scorpio will tone it down. You just will not dominate us in any capacity. Now, what I really wanted to talk about was how we handle ourselves in public when we're a couple. Scorpios are the most protective sign of the zodiac, and that is not an argument. That is not even questionable. We can be fighting you to the death, and in public, you will never know it. You will never know it. But other signs just don't operate that way. They drag everything behind the curtain into the public, and it's very strange. It's very strange. Now, people are dragging, Boris, saying that he was a punk. He was a punk for being quiet. He was a punk for being soft spoken. He was a punk for letting her talk over him like she did. I just think that's Pisces behavior. I really do believe that. I've never met a Pisces man who can be an alpha male with that woman. I've never seen it. I literally have never seen it. And a lot of Pisces think that I just come for them for no reason. I really don't. I really don't. I like Pisces, actually. I don't trust them, which is different. I always say that, and they confuse the two. Liking you and trusting you are two different things. And I've made videos on why I don't trust them at all. But I like them. But they are not an alpha domineering sign, and there's nothing that they can do about it. Now, there are Pisces men who want to argue with me, and I refuse to do it. They want to argue that they are alpha men. And then they want to chime in and say, well, I have Aries Mercury, and I have an Aries rising. My question with that is, why do you always need to give credit to another sign for being fierce and brave and dominant? Why do you need to go to Aries? Why do you need to mention that you have an Aries rising? So this is the thing. Without the Aries Mars or the Aries rising, who would you be? I'm talking about Pisces qualities. And this goes for other people as well. They start saying they have Scorpio this and Scorpio that. Well, then you're giving credit to the Scorpios. Do you know what I mean? I'm talking about your sign. Is Pisces a domineering sign? Are they an alpha? I've yet to see one. Now, if they're mixed with all this other stuff, then of course that's going to change their persona. But why do you need that other stuff? See, they don't ever want to admit that without the Aries or without the Aquarius or whatever else they're mixed in with, then their true Pisces nature can hold its own, Now, would I call Boris a punk and a simp? No, of course not. I think that's going a bit too far. I think that's very ugly and disrespectful. They've been together for 18 years, so he knows her. He knows her demeanor. I don't think he should have been surprised that she acts like that. And somebody even went to say that, oh, he checked her behind the scenes. I bet he checked her. I don't think he checked her. I don't think he checked her behind the scenes. He's not going to check her in front in public. He's not going to check her behind the scenes. I think that's just their dynamic. He wanted a strong woman, and he got one, which most Pisces do. They get Capricorns, they get Scorpios, they get, I've seen them with Aries. They that's the dynamic that they want. They're not gonna, who are they gonna dominate? Who? Pick a sign. Who? Who can Pisces dominate? Put that in the comments. Put that in the comments. If this was a Scorpio Libra dynamic, Nicole would not, first of all, been sitting in front of him. It would have not happened at all. She would have not told him to be quiet. She would have not got in so much authoritative type of conversation. That wouldn't have happened. And certainly she wouldn't have revealed any type of tension behind the scenes. See, Scorpio controls their environment. This is a big difference. Pisces blends into the environment so that they don't get attacked. If you see Boris's behavior, he just blended right in. He blended right in. He didn't want no smoke. But a Scorpio doesn't care about the smoke. We don't care. But that wouldn't have happened. And I think about a Scorpio woman. She would have never in a million years talked about their relationship like that. She wouldn't have put it out there. One thing that we do, and I notice this with many Scorpio women, we're in public. We will protect you. I mean, even if behind the scenes you and I are fighting like wolves, as soon as that camera come on, honey, that nobody better say anything about you. Everything's cool. I'm not bringing up any traumatic past, or it was kind of like she was waiting for the camera to come on to just release all of this all of these things that she really wanted to talk about her relationship. Scorpios just don't do that. We don't do that. We leave all our business where it is, right in the house. And we'll protect you in public. As soon as we go home and shut that door, we'll cut your ass deep. We're going to reach for that knife, honey. But nobody will ever know about it. Nobody will ever know about it. And there's just such a big difference between us. But I want to know what you guys think. I want to let you listen to a portion of these interviews. And I want to know, do you think that he's a punk? Do you think that she's too domineering? And what do you think about Pisces men? Have you dated one? And what did you notice? What did you notice about his behavior? Because how he behaved is the exact same way that my Pisces boyfriend, twins. just twins. I really can't, I don't know what to say about that. But anyway, guys, I will definitely see you in the next conversation. So put your comments below, and that's it. I'll see you next time. Bye.
I wish that he was my boyfriend again. I don't necessarily want to be single, but I miss the single life. I miss the text messages for no reason. There's people that flirt with you. And the part of the flirtation that even makes you look at your phone is, or in your workspace, is that they have like a freshness or a newness. And I personally believe that if you're in it for the long haul, that freshness and newness is still possible if you talk about it. I know we talk about date night. We need to go have a date night.
Because you guys so often spend so much time apart due to work,
Yes.
right? Like Boris is fortunate to be able to shoot here in Los Angeles. So many of the plays that you've booked, Nicole, and
TV
series that
series.
you've booked have shot elsewhere, typically somewhere on the East Coast. Yeah. Obviously, Empire was Chicago.
The question is, have you been doing that on purpose?
No. Well, one, that's A, and two,
I think this is a really great exploration. Okay, in the beginning, I think that we had the same priorities. Like, we had kids right away. So the kids were the priority. It didn't matter if he was in Budapest shooting a movie. He came home if it was the birthday party or the soccer game. When I'm in Chicago, I fly home even if it's for 2 days, right? So the kids were always the priority. But then it got kind of exciting in a marriage we always missed each other, right? Like, the travel was never a problem. I think as the kids moved into a different age group and we started to become brother and sister, like, did you sign the permission slip for the field trip? No. Did you get the milk? Like, we became business partners. That the travel became a problem. Mm-hmm. So I think that there's no absolute answer. I think in real talk, a marriage goes through phases, and you got to just do that dance if you want to stay married. And you know what I mean? If you want to stay married, you got to deal with the plateau. You got to deal with the fact that you haven't seen each other. You got to deal with the fact that I do fly home from Chicago, and I still just want to go to sleep.
You're making too much noise.
Why don't you share your thoughts, honey?
Yes.
About distance, about marriage.
She's absolutely right. Everyone goes through phases. Mm-hmm. You become roommates, first year in love, and the
like
romance.
Really in love, like y'all was in love when we met you. Like, we got stories for people who want to know.
Oh my God.
DM us. We'll answer the question. Honeymoon phase, although we didn't have a honeymoon, but that's another story.
Right.
And then, your love just takes on different shapes and forms. You become roommates and business partners and parents, and you coordinate, and you chauffeur people around, and you cook for people, and you're the security guard, and you have so many roles as a parent that sometimes this situation takes a back seat, which it shouldn't.
Right.
So it takes...
And there's no way around that.
It takes effort. Yeah. It takes effort and commitment to make sure that you don't lose each other in the process.